Welcome footy fans, and it looks like Good Friday has been a great day of sacrifice for the Brisbane Footy Club. Got an absolute total touch-up by Carlton last night at the Gabba. A 91-point victory. Now the thing is, look, that's a nice big handy win, and look, I'm totally 100% biased and a 100% lunatic when it comes to saying Carlton are unbeatable and are going to be premiers. But let's have a little bit of modesty and just look at this score and think to myself, good grief. Carlton kicked 13 goals after half-time. Brisbane kicked 2 goals. That pretty much sums it up. Look, I was sitting there watching the game. I was really quite enjoying that game of footy up until half-time. Heart was a little bit in the mouth still. I thought we haven't got this game won at half-time. We were in front, but we weren't actually dominating the game. There were some good signs. I think the way AFL footy is these days, the teams come and go. There's an ebb and flow. They've got to maintain that intensity. All those big strategic words they use when it comes to footy. And then I sat back and watched 2 quarters of football where Carlton didn't miss a trick. They absolutely steamrolled them. Hey look, not a totally dominant, overwhelming, crushing defeat. The Brisbane players still competed, they still made it difficult. We didn't just walk over, it wasn't like we were just running around little marker posts in the middle of the ground. We were against opposition players. But jeepers, there were some great signs there. Eddie Betts, probably one of the shorter fellas on the ground, has got himself 2 little great marks there. Well, let's say 2 huge marks. Absolute screamers. Had the crowd on their feet, everyone cheering and yelling. And the first one, which was an absolute ripper, he follows up with the second one and he gets a goal with it. Which one's going to be Mark of the Year? Going to take a fair bit of beating. I'd rather talk about predicting Marks of the Year than premierships at the moment. Chris Judd, pretty quiet in the first quarter. 2 disposals, I think. After that, got back into the engine room, got the game going, did some great little taps and touches there out of the centre. Mark Murphy was on song all day. Waite with 5 goals, absolutely great little effort there in front of the goal for us. Judd and Garlett 3 apiece. Then we had Betts and Murphy and Simpson with 2 apiece, plus a handful of players with 1 apiece. A lot of goal scorers. This is the whole key to the game. Look, going back into the last century, 1997 actually, and 1998 was the same thing. Adelaide won 2 premierships under Malcolm Blight, and his whole game plan revolved around having as many players as possible kick goals. As a matter of fact, remember that great move he made in the last quarter where he moved another person into full forward, and that threw the game over. But that's what his whole game plan was, because he comes from a very simple school of football. Goals win games. If you've got a lot of players that can kick goals, you've got a lot of players that can win a game of football for you. Well, Vossi summed it up pretty well. We were smashed. I'm 100% biased, and I'm not going to start saying let's start making room for that new silverware straight away. Long way to go, but 2 wins at the first 2 games, that's the most important thing. We've got those 8 points on the board. It gets a lot harder to win the games as the season goes by. But in the meantime, we can sit back quite happily and say 91 points to the Blues. Go you Blues!
It's the Australian way.